students, today we have to see the unit 11 carbon and its compounds. Already we see the IUPAC name, that is Nomenclatures of Organic Compounds. Now we have to see the what are the rules that is followed by the IUPAC. IUPAC means International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Okay, now we go to the IUPAC rules for naming organic compounds. There are 6 rules to follow it. Each and every rules, one by one I am saying and explaining also. See here. Okay, first rule is identify the longest chain of the carbon atom to get the parent name. How will you get the parent name? See here, I explain here that already I say it is long chain or it may be side chain. See here like this. First you have to identify long chain or side chain or whatever it will be presented there. First you have to identify how many carbon numbers is there. See here, this from this side or this side you have to calculate. First we go to from this side. 1, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon. Here first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon. So this also having 4 carbons in a long chain. So what is the name of the compound? First we have to identify the root word. Root word you know very well, that is methyl, meth, eth, prop, but. For first carbon meth, second carbon eth, third carbon prop, fourth carbon but, fifth carbon pent, like that it will be going on, that you know very well. Okay, now this having how many carbons? 4 carbons, so but. Okay, this is the, you have to identify the first long chain of the carbon atoms to get the parent name. Okay, all of you understand that one. For whatever the compound it may be, first you have to identify the long chain carbon, count the carbon numbers and name the root, identify the root word. Okay, second rule is see here, second rule, the number of carbon atoms. Second rule is the number of carbon atom that is present parent chain beginning at the closest end of the substituent or the functional group, that is which is the nearer to the carbon atom. And the number counting will be given from left side or right side. The side chain will be presented, where it will be presented, that is the very closest to the end of the substituent, that is last carbon. Before that second carbon is having substitution, or third carbon. From right to left it will be a first carbon, means you take that one. Suppose it will be in left to right, it will be a second carbon, means that only you must take, or otherwise so closest to the end carbon you know very well, that n carbon of the substituent or the functional group, they are called the locant numbers. If both functional group and the substituent are presented, functional group and as well as substitutions also presented. What are the substitutions? You know very well. Yesterday I say fluoro, chloro, bromo, iodo, amino, methyl, ethyl. These are substituents are presented in, then the priority will be given to the functional group. First you have to locate the functional group. What is functional group? That is double bond, triple bond and alcohol, aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acid. These are the functional group. First you locate the functional group, which carbon it will be closest to the n carbon. First you have to identify that one, and now I am saying that one how it will be presented. Now you take one example, that is CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. Okay, this is a long chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. suppose this carbon will be like this. See here, I here writing the substituent CH2 CH CH3 CH2 CH2 OH. See here, how many carbons in the long chain? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbons is there in the long chain. But here you having the functional group, that is OH, and the substituent is methyl, that is CH3. Methyl, you know very well, methyl ethyl propyl also I given. You take that video and see the methyl ethyl propyl butyl pentyl, what is the carbon and hydrogen will be presented there. Okay, see here, so the first carbon contains OH. First you have to identify the functional group, the closest to the end. So the closest end is the first carbon, so this OH is the presented in the end of the carbon, that is so first carbon, that is OH. Okay, next third carbon, this is second carbon and this one is third carbon. Third carbon it contains CH3. So first carbon is alcohol and third carbon contains methyl group. So you have to identify the locant number. The number you are using, no, that is known as locant number. You does not go from the left to right, because the OH group is presented in the right first end corner. So you must go in the right to left, numbering the carbon. You does not go to the left to right carbon because of the functional group OH. Okay student, this is the locant number you have to identify. First you have to use the functional group, second one you have to use the substituent. Okay, next, third case, in the case of alkenes and alkynes, the locant double bond and the triple bond use its locant number followed by the dash and a primary suffix. That is, you know very well, I explain it. What is primary suffix? The carbon chain is numbered in such a way that the multiple bonds have the lowest possible locant number. That is n carbon, which is the nearer to the double bond or triple bond. Okay, now you take the one double bond and triple bond compound. See here, I write it, CH3 CH double bond CH CH2 CH3. Okay, see here, this carbon contains double bond. Here double bond is the functional group. So you have to mention which from which side it will be a end is nearer to the functional group. From left to right, not from right to left. So you have to number from here 1, 2, 3, 4th carbon and 5th carbon. Okay, so second carbon contains double bond. So you write it as, first you have to identify how many carbons, 5 carbons. So first root word is pent. Pent. Okay, you put hyphen. Okay, next, which carbon contains double bond? Second carbon, so 2. Okay, in pentane, suppose it will be not a double bond or triple bond, it is a pentane. Instead of ANE for alkene group, you use ENE. So the secondary suffix instead of ANE, the suffix, primary suffix you use is ENE. So you have to put the hyphen and write it as 2-ene. Pent 2-ene. That hyphen will be, the carbon chain is numbered in such a way the bonds have the lowest possible locant number. So you does not come from here. If you come from right to left means this carbon is first carbon and this carbon is second carbon and this carbon is third carbon. So here they change it as 3, but you does not write like that. From the first value only you have to write pent 2-ene is the correct format for this long chain alkene. Okay. Next, fourth rule. If the compound contains functional group, locate it and use its locant number followed by a dash and the secondary suffix. Now we write it as primary suffix. Suppose the functional group 2 also, first one I say no, one is alcohol, another one is methyl also presented. Like that compound, you have to use 2 suffix, first primary suffix and the secondary suffix. If the compound contains functional group, locate it and use its locant number followed by a dash. After the number using, you put dash. After you write it as secondary suffix. Okay. Now we see that one. See here, I write it here itself. See here, I write it one example for you. That is, see here, I write it CH3 CH CH2 CH3 CH2 OH. Okay, just you listen. CH3. Okay, now you see one functional group, that is OH, that is alcohol, and another substituent, that is CH3. So primary suffix and secondary suffix also you have to write down. So first you calculate the long chain, how many carbon will be presented, first rule. So first carbon, this one is first carbon and this one is second carbon and this one is third carbon and this one is fourth carbon. Okay, first carbon contains OH. So 4 carbon is there. You have to write meth, eth, prop, bute. So 4 carbon means what is the name? Bute. Okay, next the full common name is butane. The full common name is butane. Instead of E, you put, that is first carbon, 1 all, and the secondary suffix, that is a substituent methyl group that is attached in the third carbon. So you put 3 methyl. So bute 1 all and 3 methyl, or otherwise you write it as, see here, 3 methyl. You write like this, 3 methyl, and you write it as 1 meth, 1 butanol, 1 butanol. Okay, this is the correct way. So you have to first write it the primary, that is ethyl. So this is here not a correct form, this is the correct form. How will you write? First you have to write the primary prefix, you have to write down. So 3 methyl, third carbon contains methyl group, so 3 methyl. After you write down 1 and you put, because the first carbon contains alcoholic group, so 1 and followed by a 1 dash, what is the long chain carbon is butane. So instead of E, the secondary suffix you write it as OL. Okay. Next, when the primary and the secondary suffix are joined, the terminal E of the primary suffix is removed. That is, I already so in front of that fourth itself I say it. Instead of E you put OL. Suppose aldehyde, instead of E you put AL. Or it will be a ketone. Instead of E you put ONE. Suppose it is a carboxylic acid. Instead of E you put oic acid. Okay. Next, identify the substitution and use the number followed by a dash and the prefix. That also I explained before itself. Just specify its location and identity. Okay, that's all students. This will be completed today. The session will be over. Tomorrow we will meet.